John Parker, a seasoned starship engineer, had seen his fair share of unusual events. But the message he received from a distant planet named Viridian was unlike anything he'd ever encountered. The holographic image of his old alien friend Zaylor flickered to life in his modest quarters aboard the Starship Endeavour. "John," Zaylor's voice was solemn, his usually vibrant green skin appearing dull. "If you're seeing this, it means I've passed on. I have left my fortune to you, including my starship and other assets. But most importantly, you must take care of Elena." John's mind raced as he watched the message. He hadn't seen Zaylor in years, their paths diverging after a shared mission against the Paraxes pirates. Zaylor had always been secretive about his personal life, especially about his family and the vast wealth he seemingly possessed. The message continued, outlining coordinates to Zaylor's estate on Viridian and providing access codes to the starship and other resources. The final words lingered in the air as the hologram faded. "Protect Elena, John. She is the key." With a sense of obligation and curiosity, John set his course for Viridian. As he approached the lush green planet, the anticipation grew. What exactly had Zaylor been involved in? And who was Elena? Upon landing, John was greeted by a contingent of Viridian officials who escorted him to Zaylor's grand estate. The architecture was breathtaking, with structures made of shimmering crystals and intricate carvings depicting the rich history of the Viridian people. In the grand hall, John was introduced to Elena. She stood gracefully, her shimmering blue skin catching the light, and her deep violet eyes reflecting a mix of sorrow and curiosity. Her presence was almost ethereal, and John felt an immediate sense of responsibility towards her. "Welcome, John Parker," Elena said softly, her voice melodic. "Zaylor spoke highly of you. He believed you were the only one who could continue his work." John nodded, still processing the enormity of the situation. "I'm sorry for your loss, Elena. Zaylor was a good friend." "Thank you," she replied, a hint of a smile touching her lips. "There's much to discuss. Zaylor's legacy is far more than material wealth. He was deeply involved in the alliance against the Gruthak, a ruthless alien species threatening our galaxy. Now, that responsibility falls to us." As John listened, he realized that Zaylor's will had thrust him into a pivotal role in an ongoing intergalactic conflict. The weight of his friend's final request settled heavily on his shoulders. He knew he had to honor Zaylor's legacy and protect Elena, even if it meant facing unimaginable dangers. John spent the next few days acclimating to life on Viridian, learning more about Zaylor's holdings and the intricacies of the Viridian culture. The estate was vast, filled with advanced technology and artifacts from various civilizations. Elena was his constant companion, guiding him through the complexities of his new responsibilities. One evening, as the twin moons of Viridian cast a silvery glow over the estate, John and Elena walked through the lush gardens. The air was filled with the sweet scent of exotic flowers, and the sound of distant waterfalls provided a soothing backdrop. "Zaylor never spoke much about his work," John said, breaking the silence. "I had no idea he was involved in something so significant." Elena nodded, her eyes reflecting the moonlight. "He was a visionary. He saw the threat of the Gruthak long before others did. He knew that only a united front of different civilizations could stand against them." John's mind raced with questions. "And now that he's gone, what's our plan? How do we continue his work?" Elena stopped and turned to face him, her expression serious. "First, we need to secure the alliance. Some members might be hesitant without Zaylor's leadership. They need to see that you are capable and that you have my support." John sighed, feeling the enormity of the task ahead. "I've never led an alliance before, Elena. I'm an engineer, not a diplomat." She placed a reassuring hand on his arm. "You have a good heart, John. That's why Zaylor trusted you. Together we can do this." As the days turned into weeks, John and Elena worked tirelessly. They sent messages to various allied civilizations, reassuring them of their commitment to the cause. Slowly, the alliance began to stabilize, with key leaders expressing their support. One night, after a particularly grueling day, John found himself alone in the starship's command center, reviewing tactical data. Elena entered, her presence as calming as always. "You're working too hard," she said gently. You need to rest. John rubbed his eyes and leaned back in his chair. I don't want to let anyone down. Least of all, Zaylor. Elena sat beside him, her eyes filled with understanding. You're not alone in this. We're a team. Zaylor believed in you, and so do I. Their eyes met, and for a moment, John felt a connection that transcended their differences. He realized that Elena wasn't just Zaylor's widow. She was a strong, intelligent ally who believed in him. As they continued their preparations, John and Elena grew closer, their bond strengthening with each challenge they faced. The looming threat of the Gruthak was ever present, but together they were determined to honor Zaylor's legacy and protect the galaxy from darkness. John sat in the starship's command center, surrounded by holographic displays and advanced alien technology. Despite the sophisticated surroundings, his mind was focused on the basics, understanding Zaylor's work and how to carry it forward. Elena had gone to the archives to retrieve more of Zaylor's personal logs, hoping to shed light on their next steps. John, Elena's voice crackled over the intercom, I've found something you need to see. John made his way to the archives, a vast room filled with rows of data crystals and ancient texts. Elena stood by a console, her face illuminated by the blue light of the holographic screen. This is a private log Zaylor recorded just before his death, she said, her voice tinged with emotion. It explains a lot. The hologram flickered to life, revealing Zaylor's familiar form. His expression was grave as he began to speak. If you're watching this, John, it means I'm no longer here. The Gruthak threat is greater than anyone realizes. They've been amassing forces in the uncharted regions of the galaxy, preparing for a full-scale invasion. I've spent years building an alliance to counter them, but my time has run out. Zaylor paused, his eyes filled with determination. You must continue my work. The alliance needs a leader, someone who can unite the different factions and lead them against the Gruthak. I believe in you, John. Protect Elena. She is more than my wife. She is the key to our victory. The hologram faded, leaving John and Elena in silence. John turned to Elena, his mind racing with questions. Zaylor mentioned, you're the key. What did he mean by that? John asked. Elena took a deep breath, her violet eyes meeting his. Zaylor and I discovered a way to enhance our starship's capabilities using ancient Viridian technology. It's a powerful weapon against the Gruthak, but it requires someone with my genetic makeup to operate it fully. John nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. Then we need to learn how to use this technology and gather the alliance. Time is running out. Over the next few days, John and Elena delved deeper into Zaylor's research. They uncovered detailed plans for a new type of energy weapon, capable of disabling the Gruthak's ships. With Elena's help, John began the complex task of integrating the ancient technology with their starship systems. As they worked, John couldn't help but feel a growing connection to Elena. Her intelligence, strength, and unwavering dedication to Zaylor's cause inspired him. Despite the overwhelming challenges, he felt a renewed sense of purpose and determination. Just as John and Elena began to make significant progress, a distress signal interrupted their work. The holographic display showed a Viridian outpost under attack by Gruthak forces. The urgency in the transmission was clear. The Gruthak were launching a coordinated assault. We have to help them, Elena said, her voice resolute. They're part of the alliance. If we lose them, we lose a crucial ally. John nodded, his mind already calculating the best approach. Prepare the starship for immediate departure. We need to be ready for anything. The starship, now equipped with the advanced weaponry they had been working on, soared through space toward the outpost. As they approached, the scale of the Gruthak attack became apparent. Dozens of enemy ships swarmed the outpost, their weapons relentlessly bombarding the Viridian defenses. Engage the new weapon systems, John ordered. Let's see what this ship can do. Elena activated the ancient technology, her hands moving deftly over the controls. The starship's hull glowed with a brilliant blue light as the energy weapon charged. With a thunderous roar, a beam of pure energy shot from the ship, slicing through the Gruthak fleet. The initial strike took the Gruthak by surprise, and John seized the opportunity to press the advantage. Target the lead ship. We need to disrupt their command structure. The battle raged on, with John and Elena coordinating their efforts seamlessly. The new weapon proved to be a game-changer, allowing them to disable several enemy ships and turn the tide in favor of the outpost defenders. Despite their success, the fight was far from over. The Gruthak were relentless, and their sheer numbers posed a constant threat. John realized that this was just the beginning. The Gruthak were testing their defenses, probing for weaknesses. As the last of the Gruthak ships retreated, John and Elena breathed a sigh of relief. They had won this battle, but the war was just beginning. "We need to regroup and strengthen our alliances," John said, his voice determined. "The Gruthak won't stop until they've conquered everything in their path. We have to be ready." Elena nodded, her expression resolute. "We'll honor Zayler's legacy and protect our galaxy. Together, we can do this." With the immediate threat neutralized, John and Elena set their sights on the broader conflict ahead. They knew that the road would be long and fraught with danger, but they were determined to see it through, for Zayler, for their allies, and for the future of their galaxy. The Alliance's first test came sooner than expected. After securing the Viridian outpost, John and Elena received an urgent message from the Kintari, another member of the Alliance. Their planet was under siege by a large Gruthak fleet, and their defenses were failing. John wasted no time. "Prepare the starship for immediate departure. We need to help the Kintari before it's too late." As the starship jumped to hyperspace, John gathered the crew for a briefing. The atmosphere was tense but determined. "This is our first major engagement as a unified force. Remember your training and trust in each other. We have the element of surprise and the advanced technology that Zayler left us. Let's use it to our advantage." The starship emerged from hyperspace to find the Kintari planet in chaos. Gruthak warships bombarded the surface, and the Kintari fleet struggled to hold the line. John took a deep breath, steeling himself for the battle ahead. "Elena, target their command ship with the energy beam. We need to disrupt their coordination." Elena's hands flew over the controls, and the starship's advanced weaponry roared to life. A brilliant blue beam shot out, striking the Gruthak command ship and causing a massive explosion. The enemy fleet wavered, momentarily thrown into disarray. "All ships, engage the enemy. Focus on their weaker flanks," John ordered, his voice calm and commanding. The Alliance fleet surged forward, taking advantage of the confusion. John skillfully maneuvered the starship, using its superior speed and firepower to outflank the Gruthak. Elena's precise targeting disabled several key enemy vessels, further tipping the balance in their favor. The battle was fierce and chaotic. Explosions lit up the dark void of space, and the air was filled with the sound of weapons fire and the screams of ships tearing apart. Despite the chaos, John remained focused, coordinating the Alliance forces with precision. Hours passed, and the tide of battle slowly turned. The Gruthak, realizing their defeat, began to retreat. Cheers erupted throughout the Alliance fleet as the last of the enemy ships fled into the darkness. John let out a sigh of relief, but his mind was already racing ahead. This victory was significant, but it was just the beginning. The Gruthak would regroup and come back stronger. "We did it," Elena said, her voice filled with a mix of exhaustion and triumph. "The Kintari are safe for now." John nodded, looking out at the battlefield littered with debris. "We've won this battle, but the war is far from over. We need to regroup, repair our ships, and prepare for the next attack. The Gruthak won't stop until they've conquered everything." Elena placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "We'll be ready, John. Together, we can face anything." With the immediate threat neutralized, John and Elena turned their attention to strengthening the Alliance. They knew that unity was their greatest weapon against the Gruthak. Their next destination was the planet Talara, home to the wise and ancient Talaran Council. Convincing the Talarans to join the fight was crucial, as their knowledge and resources could tip the scales in the Alliance's favor. The journey to Talara was uneventful, giving John and Elena time to reflect on their recent victory and plan their approach. Upon arrival, they were greeted with the grandeur of Talaran architecture, towering spires of crystal and light that shimmered under the planet's twin suns. The Talaran Council convened in a vast hall, their elder statesmen radiating wisdom and authority. John and Elena stood before them, their resolve unwavering. "Elders of Talara," John began, his voice steady. "We come to seek your alliance in the face of a common enemy. The Gruthak threaten all civilized worlds. Alone we are vulnerable, but together we stand a chance to defeat them." The eldest Talaran, Counselor Althar, regarded them with piercing eyes. "We have heard of your recent victory against the Gruthak. Impressive, but tell us, what makes you believe that this alliance can succeed where others have failed?" Elena stepped forward, her presence commanding respect. "We have technology that can give us an edge, and we have the will to fight. But most importantly, we have unity. Zaylor believed in this alliance, and his vision brought us together. With your wisdom and resources, we can turn the tide." The counselors whispered among themselves, their expressions contemplative. Finally, Counselor Althar spoke. "We will join your alliance, but on one condition. You must prove your commitment by aiding us in a matter of great importance. The Gruthak have captured a sacred Talaran artifact that holds significant power. Retrieve it, and our support is yours." John and Elena exchanged determined glances. "We accept your condition," John said firmly. "Tell us where to find this artifact." The council provided detailed coordinates of the Gruthak outpost where the artifact was held. It was a heavily fortified location, but John and Elena were undeterred. As they prepared for the mission, John felt a renewed sense of purpose. The alliance was growing stronger, and with each new ally, their chances of defeating the Gruthak increased. The mission to retrieve the Talaran artifact would be dangerous, but it was a necessary step in solidifying their unity. The starship set course for the Gruthak outpost, the crew ready for whatever lay ahead. John and Elena stood side by side on the bridge, their resolve unshakable. "We're making progress," John said, his voice filled with determination. "One step at a time, we're building something that can withstand the Gruthak." Elena nodded, her eyes reflecting the stars outside. "We'll honor Zaylor's legacy and protect our galaxy. Together, we're unstoppable." As the starship sped towards the Gruthak outpost, John felt a sense of hope. They were not alone in this fight. The alliance was growing, and with each new ally, they were one step closer to victory. The mission to retrieve the Talaran artifact began smoothly. John, Elena, and a select team of elite fighters infiltrated the Gruthak outpost, using the advanced cloaking technology that Zaylor had integrated into their starship. The plan was to strike swiftly, retrieve the artifact, and return before the Gruthak realized what had happened. As they moved through the corridors of the outpost, John couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. The Gruthak presence was lighter than expected, and their defenses seemed almost too easy to bypass. Nevertheless, they pressed on, finally reaching the chamber where the artifact was held. The artifact was a stunning orb of swirling light, pulsing with energy. Elena approached it with reverence, her hands gently lifting it from its pedestal. "This is it," she whispered, "the heart of Talara." Before they could celebrate their success, alarms blared throughout the outpost. Gruthak soldiers poured into the chamber, weapons drawn. John's instincts kicked in, and he ordered his team to form a defensive perimeter. "How did they know we were here?" one of the fighters shouted over the din. John's mind raced. There was only one explanation. They had been betrayed. Someone within the alliance had tipped off the Gruthak. As the battle raged, he realized they needed to retreat. "Fall back to the extraction point. We can't afford to lose the artifact." With Elena clutching the heart of Talara, they fought their way back through the outpost. The Gruthak resistance was fierce, but John's team managed to hold them off long enough to reach the starship. As they made their escape, John's thoughts turned to the traitor within their ranks. Who could it be? Back on Talara, the council welcomed them with open arms, grateful for the return of their sacred artifact. However, John's mind was consumed with the betrayal. He knew they needed to find the traitor before more damage could be done. Elena shared his concerns. "We need to investigate quietly. If the traitor suspects we're onto them, they might cause even more harm." John agreed. "We'll start with those who had knowledge of our mission. We need to be thorough and discreet." Their investigation led them to one of the key leaders in the Alliance, a figure who had been close to Zaylor and had access to critical information. John and Elena arranged a private meeting, hoping to uncover the truth. The leader, a charismatic alien named Vorak, welcomed them warmly. "John, Elena, to what do I owe this visit?" John's voice was steady but firm. "We've reason to believe there's a traitor within the Alliance. Someone tipped off the Gruthok about our mission?" Vorak's expression shifted, a flicker of something dark crossing his features. "That's a serious accusation. Do you have any proof?" Elena stepped forward, her eyes piercing. "Not yet, but we will find it. The future of the Alliance depends on it." As they left the meeting, John and Elena exchanged a knowing glance. They were closer to the truth, but the danger was far from over. The Alliance's survival depended on their ability to root out the traitor and solidify their unity against the Gruthok threat. With the threat of betrayal hanging over their heads, John and Elena intensified their efforts to strengthen the Alliance. They conducted covert investigations, gathering evidence and narrowing down the list of suspects. The Alliance needed to remain strong, especially with the looming Gruthok threat. Their efforts took an unexpected turn when a surprising ally emerged, a rogue Gruthok scientist named Drakmar. Disillusioned with the Gruthok's ruthless methods, Drakmar sought asylum with the Alliance, offering crucial information in exchange. John and Elena were initially skeptical, but Drakmar's knowledge proved invaluable. He provided detailed schematics of Gruthok warships, their tactical plans, and, most importantly, their weaknesses. "Why are you helping us?" John asked during their first meeting. Drakmar's eyes were filled with a mix of regret and determination. "The Gruthok have lost their way. Their lust for conquest will bring nothing but destruction. I want to see a future where peace is possible." With Drakmar's information, the Alliance's strategies became more effective. They launched a series of successful raids against Gruthok supply lines, disrupting their operations and buying the Alliance valuable time. However, the question of the traitor still loomed large. Their breakthrough came when they intercepted a coded message from Vorak to the Gruthok. The evidence was irrefutable. Vorak had been feeding the enemy information all along. John and Elena confronted Vorak in a dramatic showdown. "We trusted you," John said, his voice filled with anger and betrayal. "Why would you do this?" Vorak sneered, his true colors finally revealed. "The Gruthok promised power and wealth beyond imagination. The Alliance is doomed to fail, and I intended to be on the winning side." Elena's eyes blazed with fury. "You betrayed everything Zaylor stood for. You betrayed all of us." Before Vorak could respond, Drakmar stepped forward, holding a device that neutralized Vorak's defenses. "Your treachery ends here," Drakmar said coldly. With Vorak detained and the Alliance purged of its betrayer, morale soared. John addressed the assembled leaders, his voice filled with resolve. "We've faced betrayal and emerged stronger. The Gruthok think they can break us, but they underestimate our unity and determination. Together, we will defeat them." The Alliance launched a series of coordinated attacks, utilizing the intelligence provided by Drakmar. The Gruthok found themselves on the defensive for the first time, their forces struggling to cope with the relentless onslaught. The turning point came during a critical battle near the strategic planet of Hesperon. Using their advanced weaponry and newfound unity, the Alliance managed to destroy a key Gruthok command center, dealing a significant blow to their operations. As the smoke cleared and the Alliance ships regrouped, John felt a surge of hope. They had proven their strength and resilience. The Gruthok were still a formidable enemy, but the Alliance had shown that they could fight back and win. Elena stood beside him, her eyes filled with determination. "We're making progress, John. The tide is turning." John nodded, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. "We've come a long way, but there's still much to do. We'll keep fighting for Zaylor, for our allies, and for the future of our galaxy." With their spirits high and their resolve unshakable, John and Elena led the Alliance towards the next phase of their campaign. The Gruthok threat was far from over, but they had taken a crucial step towards victory, and they were ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. The Alliance's recent victories had bolstered their confidence and morale. The once fragmented and skeptical group of civilizations now stood united, ready to launch a decisive strike against the Gruthak. The intelligence provided by Drakmar revealed the location of the Gruthak's primary stronghold, deep within an asteroid belt on the edge of the galaxy. John, Elena, and the Alliance leaders convened to plan the final assault. The room was filled with a sense of purpose and urgency. "Our objective is clear," John began, his voice steady. "We need to hit the Gruthak where it hurts the most, destroy their command center, and cripple their ability to wage war." Elena outlined the plan on a holographic display. The asteroid belt provides natural cover, but it also poses significant risks. We'll need to navigate through the debris and avoid detection until we're in position. The Alliance fleet, a diverse array of ships from various civilizations, gathered at the edge of the asteroid belt. John addressed the fleet from the bridge of their starship, his voice broadcasted to every vessel. "Today, we fight for our future. The Gruthak have terrorized our galaxy for too long, but today, we end their reign. Stay strong, stay united, and trust in each other. Together, we will prevail." The fleet advanced, weaving through the treacherous asteroid field. The tension was palpable as they neared the Gruthak's stronghold. The element of surprise was crucial. They needed to strike hard and fast. As they approached, the Gruthak defenses sprang to life. Turrets and fighter ships swarmed to intercept the Alliance fleet. The battle began with a thunderous clash, energy beams and missiles lighting up the dark expanse of space. John and Elena coordinated the assault, their starship leading the charge. "Focus on the turrets first," John ordered. "We need to clear a path to the command center." The Alliance fleet responded with precision, targeting the Gruthak defenses. Explosions rocked the asteroid belt as turrets and enemy fighters were obliterated. Despite their initial success, the Gruthak's numbers were overwhelming, and the battle grew fiercer. Drakmar's voice crackled over the comms. "We're detecting a massive energy buildup in the command center. They're preparing a weapon that could destroy our entire fleet." John's heart pounded. "We need to disable that weapon. Elena, can we target their power source?" Elena nodded, her fingers flying over the controls. "I'm on it, diverting all available power to the energy beam." The starship's hull glowed with an intense blue light as the energy weapon charged. With a deafening roar, a beam of pure energy shot out, striking the Gruthak command center. The impact caused a chain reaction, and the command center began to implode. Cheers erupted throughout the Alliance fleet, but John knew they weren't out of danger yet. "All ships, focus fire on the remaining Gruthak forces. We need to ensure they can't regroup." The battle raged on, but the Alliance's unity and determination proved unstoppable. One by one, the Gruthak ships fell, their once formidable fleet reduced to wreckage. The final Gruthak vessel was destroyed, and the battle was won. As the dust settled, the Alliance fleet regrouped. The cost had been high, but they had achieved a monumental victory. The Gruthak stronghold was no more, and their threat had been severely diminished. John and Elena stood on the bridge, looking out at the aftermath of the battle. "We did it," John said, his voice filled with a mix of relief and triumph. "The Gruthak are defeated." Elena smiled, her eyes reflecting the stars. "This is just the beginning. We've shown that we can stand together no matter the odds. The future is ours to shape." With the Gruthak defeated, the Alliance turned its attention to rebuilding and ensuring a lasting peace. The once disparate civilizations now worked together, pooling their resources and knowledge to create a more prosperous and secure galaxy. John and Elena traveled from planet to planet, meeting with leaders and overseeing reconstruction efforts. Their bond had grown stronger through the trials they faced, and they became symbols of unity and hope for the entire Alliance. On Viridian, a grand ceremony was held to commemorate their victory and honor those who had sacrificed their lives. Representatives from every member of the Alliance gathered, their flags and banners creating a vibrant tapestry of colors. John stood before the assembly, his heart swelling with pride. "We have faced the darkness and emerged victorious. Our unity has shown that together we can overcome any challenge. This is a new dawn for our galaxy, one where peace and cooperation will guide us." Elena stepped forward, holding the heart of Talara. "This artifact symbolizes the strength of our alliance. It reminds us that no matter our differences, we are stronger together. Let us honor Zayler's legacy by continuing to protect and cherish our unity. As the ceremony concluded, John and Elena took a moment to reflect on their journey. They had come a long way from the days when John first received Zayler's message, unsure of what lay ahead. Now, they stood as leaders of a united galaxy, ready to face whatever the future might bring. Walking through the gardens of the Viridian estate, John turned to Elena. "We've accomplished so much, but there's still more to do. The galaxy is vast, and there are countless worlds that need our help." Elena nodded, her eyes filled with determination. "And we'll be there for them. Together, we'll continue to build a future worthy of Zayler's vision." Their journey was far from over, but they faced it with a sense of hope and purpose. The Alliance had proven that unity could overcome even the greatest of threats. And with John and Elena leading the way, the galaxy was poised for a new era of peace and prosperity. As they looked out at the stars, John felt a sense of fulfillment. They had honored Zayler's legacy, protected the galaxy, and found a profound connection with each other. The future was bright, and with their united strength, they were ready to face whatever came next.